let's have a look at one pattern that works really well as a variation between everything else we have studied so far. So we have studied two patterns that I think are very important, but today I want to show you one that I call it a variation because it works as a glue between the two patterns. It works really well. And I'll play that and you'll see what I mean in a second. But let's have a look at the pattern variation first. 2, 3, 4. Right? Notice that the first 16th tends to be shorter and the second longer. 3, 4. Right? That's part of the feel of it. Now, this wouldn't be the only way to apply that pattern, meaning playing it short and long, short and long. But that tends to be a way that works well for the music. And then you can experiment with different combinations as far as short and long. Now, when it comes to switching the chord, we always have the option to switch the chord either before the downbeat or right after the downbeat. And because we're playing 1/16th note before the downbeat and then another 16th right after the downbeat, right? Whereas the thumb is playing the downbeat. If we're going, say, from C6-9 to an A7 sharp 5, now we have then the option to do this, so 3, 4. Right, now I anticipated the chord with the 16th. Or we can play the A7 after the downbeat, like this, so 3, 4. Right? I'll do that with the metronome. So I'll play before the downbeat when switching chords. 3, 4. Right? Or playing after the downbeat. 3, 4. Right? So now I'll play a little bit the progression that, again, just for consistency, the same progression we have used so far, which is C6-9, A7 sharp 5, D minor 9, and G13. So metronome at 60, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll play before. So I'm anticipating every chord. Right, so every chord I played 1/16th note before the downbeat. I'll try and play the 16th after the downbeat. It seems like anticipating the chord. I think it feels probably more natural, but I'll just try and play every chord after the downbeat. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so playing after the downbeat feels a little unnatural to me, but nevertheless, that's super useful because when it comes to playing any style of music, is that we want to make it as varied as possible. So adding variation and versus playing a very strict pattern all the time, it's always a good idea, I think. So practice that. I believe that's, again, a really good pattern to just to break the ice between any other pattern you might be playing for Bossa Nova, for any song. And so now I'll just play a little bit, and I'll use the metronome just so we know, we can have a better reference of the downbeat. And I'll try and play it randomly, those. Let's see if I can call the patterns that I'm using too. So I'll start with our pattern number 1, and I'll apply our variation at some point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Variation. Back to the pattern. Variation. Back to the pattern. Variation. So you can tell that it kind of drives the feel of the music. So it's really a useful pattern. And now I'll try and do the same, but I'll use our second pattern that we studied. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So have fun with that. Practice with the metronome. If this is the first video that you're seeing on my series on Brazilian guitar, especially Bossa Nova, there's 4 videos before this where I explained the first 2 patterns that I was mentioning just now, and including an extended play along for each one of the patterns. So if you're new to this series, I think it's worth going back and checking, especially if you found difficulty maybe in understanding and in identifying whether I was playing a pattern or the variation that we studied in this video. Of course, our goal ultimately is to be able to play very intuitively the music, and what ends up happening once you study those patterns that we're going over is that eventually you will just apply kind of as a second nature without really thinking, but making it initially more structured so that where we can name the pattern specifically, just like I'm doing right now. I think it will help you keep practicing, have fun with your guitar, be inspired, and I'll see you next time here. Take care. Bye bye bye.